I am Khadija. Today on Agric Economy, we shall be taking a look at the assessment of agricultural technology and its economic benefits. This only means that what are the benefits, so to say, to technological advancement in agriculture. When I say technology, I know so many people are beginning to think about the tractors and rest of it, but we have so many methods of farming now that also have come up with the help of technology. We'll quickly take a break. When we return, we'll bring you our guests. Stay tuned. It's still the program Agric Economy. Like I said earlier, the topic is going to be the assessment of agricultural technology and its economic benefits. And to discuss this with us this week is our economist, our usual guest of the program, who has been telling us and shedding more light on each topic anytime we call on him. He's no other person than Mr. Gabriel Idakolo. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
We know that technology is the way to come. With the world we are today, we see that in different sectors, technology has really come to stay, and in the agricultural sector, this is no doubt one major breakthrough. In the sector, technologies range from different angles, from tools to getting improved seedlings and even methods of farming. Now, since let me say from 2020, the year 2020, how can you assess the impact of technology to our Nigerian agricultural system and its economic benefits?
Since year 2020, Nigeria has witnessed a tremendous development in agri-technology. We have gradually improved on our agricultural practices. We have also improved on seedlings. We have improved on the usage of land to maximize production. We have also improved on genetic agricultural engineering to the extent that we now have genetically raised crops that are bringing out high yield and that are increasing productivity in the sector. Based on the way that technology is evolving all around the world, and Nigeria is not left out, we see a situation whereby with continuous improvement in technology, agriculture will be able to produce or meet the expectations of the people in the next 10 years to come, in the next decade. Why I say this is that ongoing technologies in other countries of the world, like Israel, for example, has made us to understand that even crops can now be grown from the lab to be able to use it to increase or subsidize what agriculture that is grown on land is doing. And we have seen successful practices or successful inauguration of lab-grown meat and lab-grown fish, to the extent that it supplements over time for what we are getting from the ones that are herbivores, the cows that are eating grasses, or the fish that are in the sea. It supplements it because of the tremendous growth of population. Now, why is population growth very important when we are considering agricultural development? If we want to rely on subsistence farming or traditional farming, the number of people in agricultural practice using traditional agricultural methods might not be able to meet the food production need of the population that is fast growing. Presently, the world population has grown in the past 10 years by 1 billion, and we are looking at a population of about 8 billion people in the world. And if agricultural practice is not dynamic to the extent that we can produce as fast as possible to meet the fast growing population of the world, then we might not be able to curb starvation, we might not be able to curb food insecurity, food security problems, and we might not also be able to curb deaths or health diseases that could come up because of lack of food or lack of using agricultural inputs to be able to for medicinal purposes. And that is why technology in agriculture, even in this decade, is very important and is growing fast, and Nigeria is not being left behind, because most of our research institutes that are involved in agriculture are coming out with new products. They are coming up with methods of growing increased yield, increased seedlings, using greenhouse farming, for example, to be able to grow as much as possible. And this effect is really helping, although we have not gotten to the level of full sustainability yet, but this effect is really helping to be able to compensate or to be able to subsidize for the traditional farming practice that we are involved in presently.
Okay, when we talk, we've evolving too. We've seen countries, countries like Dubai do these things, and you wonder, is this same country being able to churn out overnight and turn the country into a hub of activities?
Yes.
Is this possible for Nigeria, looking at the fact that we have so many numerous potentials?
Yes.
Here, especially in the agricultural sector? What are we not doing right?
Actually, Nigeria cannot even compare itself to countries in the Sahara Desert like Dubai that you have mentioned, in United Arab Emirates, for so many reasons. One, we have advantage of population that are in agriculture already. We have advantage of arable land already, and we also have advantage of experts that can measure up to any expert all around the world. The major problem we have, and which we are working on, which I hope that Nigeria will be able to surmount, is bureaucracies as regards government policies in agriculture, the problem of inadequate funding of research in Nigeria, and the problem of haphazard implementation of these researches. And finally, the major problem that we have is measurement of performance. When you look at this country, you discover that Dubai, that you just mentioned, is largely a desert country, but they are performing well in agriculture because these things that are mentioned are not lacking. There is proper monitoring, there is proper funding for research and development in agriculture, there is proper policies of government to engender qualitative output of agricultural policies. And also there is proper measurement. Nigeria is very good in giving visions, and we are very good in giving targets. We'll say Vision 2020, I'm sure we are talking of Vision 2030 now. Very soon there will be Vision 2050. But we never measure milestone achievement and yardsticks. And these are not lacking in this country that you have mentioned. So we have so many opportunities that should be advantageous to agricultural growth in Nigeria. But some of these challenges are as a result of lack of proper measurement, red tape and bureaucracies in government, and most times lack of funding for training, lack of funding for training and research to be able to measure up. You can just imagine, I was listening to a professor that was being interviewed about a week ago, and the professor said that his salary cannot even take him to a conference in Benin Republic if he wanted to go with his salary. That is how bad it is when we are talking of a professor. So when you have researchers in Agric, for example, and they are not properly funded, despite the experience and the expertise that they have, they would most likely, if they don't leave the country, they will decide to just stay where they are or do private practice. It is funding, adequate funding, that has made countries all over the world to excel. When you see excellence in pharmaceutical industry, it is funding. you will be surprised that most of those funding that comes for pharmaceutical excellence in the US, in the UK, and other countries like Belgium, Germany, and Australia comes from the government and organized private sector straight to institutions, educational institutions and research institutions. When there is adequate funding of research in the educational institutions, universities, polytechnics and the rest, and also research institutes, there is no way that they will not be able to churn out quality researches and implement same. So just like I said, funding is a major problem. In a country whereby we can earmark 5 billion for capacity building to just go and sit and eat, but when it comes to researches, we earmark 1 million or 2 million. So it will not take us far as we would have envisaged. And you will see that over time, if you go and check the statistics, most of our very good hands have they have left the country to places where they are adequately funded, to institutions where they are adequately funded, to research institutes abroad where they are adequately funded, and they are doing researches, contributing to the body of knowledge in those places, and those researches and body of knowledge is enjoying the benefit for their own environment. Whereas these are people that will have been of tremendous benefit to development of agriculture in Nigeria if their researches are funded and they are adequately enabled and encouraged to do the work. So when we look at the challenges that we have, if the government continue to pay less attention to researches, funding, the red tape bureaucracies that is affecting agri development, we might not be able to get to where we are going.
Okay, in area of, we talked of research and rest for improved seedlings and all of that.
Yeah.
In the area of physical, I'm saying physical machineries now,
yes.
We know that in Nigeria, most popular among technologies when it comes to physical machineries is just a tractor. But
yeah.
when you watch the modern or advanced world, you see
yes.
them having sprayers, you see machines that are giving you the heaps and hedges and whatever.
Yes.
When are we going to get there? What should we be doing? There have been several calls for these farmers to have cooperatives. Do we know that there's little or nothing? Most times they are token, especially
yes.
for small, because these these technologies are coming for quite a lot. I remember vividly one time on the program, someone reached out and said he wanted he has some of these technologies but when we interfaced with the person and saw the price, each of those is going for
average farmer might not be able to afford
it. So where do we go from here?
The government, one unique thing about Nigeria is that we actually know the solution to our problem. It's just that we don't go ahead to implement the solution. There is a saying that if we do not know the solution to our problem, how do we go about solving it? Nigeria knows the solution to its problems. All these modern day agricultural implements that we are talking about, they are in major countries like China, United States and the rest. And just like you mentioned, the price is beyond the reach of an average farmer in Nigeria. Even those that are practicing commercialized farming will have to take loan facilities, if not in Nigeria, maybe with multilateral agencies in Africa or the rest, to be able to purchase those agricultural implements. But one thing I want you to know is that there are various ways of going about this, acquiring some of these products. One of the major ways is government intervention. Now, when we say government intervention, I don't want people to get me wrong. Government intervention necessarily, in most cases, does not mean that government should pump money into acquiring these products and bringing them down for farmers to use.
I know you want to hear how government should intervene when it comes to this, but quickly we'll go on a break. When we return, the program continues. Stay tuned. Saying earlier, you were talking about the intervention of government and how they can, fathom ways of ensuring that these technologies is accessible.
Yeah.
And of course, the results from these researches go down to those in the grassroots in a way that it translates. Yes, we have so many researches. If you come to the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria and you go through their library, you'll be amazed at things that we have on that's been done. And then you begin to wonder, why is this not, some of them is not everywhere for people to see.
Yes.
Then what is the level of acceptance? You see, our people would frown out, oh, this one is genetical, so they don't want. And then what I see again that is issue with the acceptance as well is the fact that unlike other countries, you travel out of this nation, you see that if you go to any store, it is labeled.
Yeah.
You see that this is organic,
properly
this is
branded,
and then you can now make your choice if you want, this is what you want, or you want that. But I don't know, these are parts of issues raised when we do go out for Vox Pop to talk to Nigerians. Yes. As to the reason why acceptability of some of these technologies are not getting to where they need to get to. So for a start, let's start with government.
Now, just like I said earlier, government, we are not expecting government to go and procure these new farm implements directly to the farmers because the ordinary farmer might not be able to muster enough resources to purchase them because of the cost. And most of the cost of these products are denominated in the United States dollars and the British pound. Now, what the government can do is to come out and offer credit guarantees to both the manufacturers and the farmers. When the manufacturers abroad know that the government is interested in ensuring that the products that they are sending to farmers in Nigeria, payment will be made through the CBN, they will be more comfortable to deal. Now, when we get to that level, then the farmers can come in groups. Been done when the government has granted credit guarantees and the suppliers or the manufacturers of these modern implements are comfortable with the government's guarantees that their payments will not be delayed, then they can now structure agreements with our farmers in Nigeria, both those that come as cooperatives or those that are operating commercial farms. What that does is that it gives them leverage and leeway to be able to give substantial terms of repayment for those farming implements. And it also helps to be able to ensure that their payments will not stifle the farmers as a cooperative. So when that happens, instead of outright payment for this equipment, they can be staggered payments for 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years, depending on the agreement with the manufacturers, knowing fully well that the government has a credit-back guarantee in place to ensure that these payments are done. So when that is in place, the farmers will use this implement, because what it does, one thing that we need to know is that when we have modern day implements in place, it increases yield it increases productivity, and it also reduces time that is used in the farm, and those times can be used for other things, because some of these farm implements are now all in one. You see a machine that can harvest, that can sort, that can also place. So you see a machine that can plow, after plowing that can put the seedlings in it. You see a machine that can also water all around by movement and other things. So these machines can easily be used by a few people in the farm, while other people will have advantage of doing something else. And it will not, like our forefathers used to do, need thousands of people to work on the farm, whereas you can have just 2 or 3 people working on a farm with this improved implement. That is one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is leasing. We have seen over time that there is that of agricultural leasing, agricultural equipment leasing companies in Nigeria, and the main reason is because it has not been profitable to them like other leasing ventures. Now, if we have enough companies in key agrarian areas, in the capitals of maybe probably Lagos, Benue, Plateau, and all Kano and all those places that have world-class equipment for farmers according to the peculiarity of the area that they are in, and they are ready to lease for a period to them. You understand? For a period of maybe the time of harvest, the time of planting and all those things in place, and there is clear-cut agreement that is backed up with payments that as at when due. This kind of improvement will be witnessed easily, because if we have enough agricultural leasing companies that are bringing in modern equipment for our farmers to use, and the farmers can have good discussions with them to be able to get those equipments to use, then it will improve production in the agri sector. It will also make sure that the timing and the hazard of farming is reduced to the barest minimum. When I say hazards of farming, you can imagine when you put 500 people to be plowing and everything, some of them can fall sick, some of them can become injured by maybe wild animals like snakes and others. But if there are machines in place that is driven with technology, this can reduce drastically. So apart from government intervention through production of credits, if we have good leasing companies that are involved in agricultural equipment, or even the state government that are interested in ensuring that they, on behalf of the farmers in their state, procure this equipment and ensure that it's made available at a fee for their farmers, it will help to improve production in agriculture. Coming to the second aspect of funding of researches, we have seen that in as much as we have so many, I don't know their numbers now, but we have so many agri research institutes in Nigeria. We know that, just like I mentioned, major problem they are facing is funding. The second aspect, just like you also mentioned, is that even the body of work that is being done is not permeating to the intended farmers. Why? Because of misconceptions and traditional beliefs and the rest. So government and these research institutes need to partner to be able to do sensitization workshops and educate the farmers on the need to have these various species and utilize these researches to their benefit. Just like you said, when you go to other clients, you see products properly branded. You see, they will tell you this one is traditionally grown. You see, they say this one is genetically grown, and they say this one is a combination. You know, they are everywhere. They are properly labeled. What the government need to do in conjunction with the research institute is that they need to go to the grassroots, sensitize these farmers, let them know the importance of the one that is traditionally grown, the one that has genetic inputs, and the one that is a mix. And because if the farmers themselves do not even understand what they are doing, they will not be able to sell it. You can't sell what you don't know. So this sensitization is very important. The farmers need to be educated so that they can move away from their traditional method of planting and growing crops to advanced methods that are all over the place, to their own benefit at the end of the day. That is just it. It's a win-win situation if the farmers can embrace technology as fast as possible, because the world is evolving in technology.
With all being said, the need for technological advancement is one that is a very, very germane, and sensitization of farmers have been highlighted as one important rules for these technologies to get to the later. On this note, to wrap it up on the program Agric for this week, join us again same time, same station next week. I remain your host, Khadija Oluwatoyin, and saying bye for now.